Test. Check, 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 check. Test, test. Test, test. Test. I don't know. It's working.
Fear. It evolves and shifts and takes on new names, but like folklore, it never truly goes away. I'm Aaron Mankey. This is Lord. I'm Aaron Mankey. This is Lord. I'm Aaron Mankey. This.
Welcome, no one. Alright. So this Overlord, and pardon if the audio is all jacked up, I don't stream very often. But this Overlord, this new Overlord extension from Battle Axe came out today that works with Illustrator and After Effects, and I really wanted to try it out. So I'm just going to make a really simple character, transfer him over, and see what happens, and you know, learn what this program's all about. Since it's Halloween, I'm going to make a little vampire. I'm not going to be too precious with anything here. No, I already am big. Couple things the Overlord that I'm curious or excited about this Overlord thing is that you can transfer your swatches over, which is really cool. You can also transfer over text from Illustrator, and it will become a text layer in After Effects. So I might add some text in, I might add some text into the design just to see how it works. I'm definitely gonna like start making some swatches and saving those over as well. Entire folder. I don't really know what a vampire looks like. Kind of going off like the Sesame Street vampire. It's gonna be really, really basic. I'll try to do this tutorial pretty quick, but also try and make it not look like complete shit. Seems like a really short body. Maybe it's kind of like a girl. Like that, a little too emo. To do with the hair of an old man. I hate that. Some sort of don't be precious, don't be precious. Just trying to do it for the tutorial. Every vampire needs some fangs. It's a little goatee too. It's making a hipster vampire. Circle or square? I don't hate that. I don't hate that. It means like a some sort of cuff. Also, I noticed that the update in Illustrator, they added this puppet warp tool. Maybe that was there before. I tried it. It worked pretty cool. I think I'm just going to leave it like that, make it real simple. Simplicity. Not being precious, people. Really simple color palette. Just get it done. Trying to finish this in like 2 hours at most. It was a mash. It was a monster mash. Oh, a monster mash. It was a graveyard smash. It was a mash. Oh, it was. It was a mash. Kind of like that. It was a mash. Just make it up as you go. Just add little happy little trees. Happy little button. Some sort of amulet. It wasn't enough. Little ruby booby. It's yellow in my swatches. Have this darker color yet. I'm trying to move fast, but also I can't like not be. Can't not be precious about certain things. Just in my nature. Trying to move as fast as possible. Someone will always find it interesting. That's the thing about the internet. Some people might find it boring. Someone will always find it interesting. Some really skinny legs. It was a man. This looks longer. I guess his hips kind of up there. Should I give him a towel? Little booty. It's like not too shabby. I've seen worse vampires. Save often, kids. This is definitely like, his face definitely is like Muppet, but that's what you get when you're speeding. Part of me's like, I don't even know if he needs arms. That's what I had him. Give you guys the full Tut experience when no one's watching. Nobody knows. Trouble. I don't think I had this dark one. The Monster Mash. It was the Graveyard Smash. It was a mash. But on with the Raj. It was a mash. I want the hand to be over that. Sure, why not? I'm just gonna leave the hands balls because it's not what this is about. It's not what this Tut's about, am I right? Alright. Damn, there you got your basic character. distorting. Now a little tip for you, if you make something bigger, and like see how my curved edges became not curved anymore? For the longest time, I did not know how to, I did not know how to fix that. All you have to do is go to Object, Expand. Nope, I was wrong. My computer's... Shut up, Red Giant. All you have to do is go to Object, Shape, Expand Shape. That's what you want. See, now they stay rounded. And that is what we want. I'm just going to group him so I can align him. Right to the center. Bam. Ungroup. Right, now we start making our layers. God, I hate when I grab things I don't want to grab. New layer. Head. You can never have enough layer separation in my mind. The more things separated, like even separating the brows. Sometimes I just do that in After Effects, but honestly, the more, the better. The more layers, the more flexible your character is in the end. You can give those subtle movements. If everything was just on the head layer, it would be a pain. This sideburn. I think that's a little awesome. I don't know if that's how you spell goatee. I don't care. Grab the neck. Layers over a little bit here. Getting a little funky. Normally I have a two-screen, I have two monitors, but just can't stream two monitors that I know of at this point. Okay. I use Duik to rig him. I've been getting more into rubber hose. I'm just quicker with Duik. That's what I've been using longer, so I'm just faster with it. It's hard to change your ways, you know. They're both good. Like, that's the thing. It was a mash. Almost there. I forgot I want to add text too. It was a mash. Sorry. Damn it. I've found that rubber hose for legs it is better. I'd seem to always have trouble in Duik with the legs snapping. No matter how hard I try, it's just hard to get them to look smooth in a walk. So I mean, if I was really gonna take my time, I might do like the legs with rubber hose, but like I said, I'm just faster with Duik. I know how to do the toes with Duik too, even though it's kind of pointless, but whatever. And I really don't know how to solve for that. I haven't taken the time to figure out how to solve for that snap that just happens. Make sure everything's good. Thigh, calf, foot, toes, thigh, calf, foot, toes. Put these down low, pelvis. Save again. Okay. Now let's just add some text for fun, just so we can show it off. What would vampire say? Bleh! 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 Or is it more like bleh? I'm like the worst at picking fonts too. That's good enough. Bleh. Give him a little word roll. It was a mish. Bleh. Bleh. Oops. Bubble. Alright, save that. Let's give him a little shadow too, because I'm going to need that. Get himself a little shadow. Do I care about the color of the background? No. No, I don't. I'm just at the low one now. This is the word bubble. Make him as centered as possible. Okay. Now we are ready to see Overlord in action. Now, I don't know how to use Overlord. I didn't watch any tutorials. I just kind of watched their promo video. I guess we select all our layers. Let me see what all these do. Switch to AE. Matching artboard from comp. Push select. I'm going to do that. Push guide. I don't have any guides. Pull selection from AE. Split shapes to layers. Seems like there's some useful stuff in here, but I'm not going to mess around with this today. I'm just going to do the basics. Let's just select. Everything is selected. Oh my god! It worked. It fucking worked. That's cool. I wonder if there's something that I could have done with the anchor points. Like, I wonder if I can probably set my anchor points in Illustrator even. Because they're all centered to the canvas. Normally when you import something and you use, like if you do the normal import, file, if I did this and I did like composition, then at least the anchor points would be at the center of all the shapes. And this made them all, I forgot, this makes them all shape layers. Nice too. Whoa. Whoa. That's weird. That did something I didn't want it to do. Well, that one worked. Why did it... Oh, wait. Why did it do that? I thought those were... It, like... See, this is just a stroke. And these cuffs were just strokes, but when I pushed it to AE, it made them shapes. Or it made them not strokes anymore. It made them like a shape. Same with the amulet. This was a stroke. This white on the top of this collar was a stroke. And the mouth was a stroke. How come it kept some things a stroke, but other things not? I'm glad it kept the shadow a stroke, because I like that to be a stroke. You'll see why later. Let me get a... God, I got the heat on here, and it's actually starting to get fucking hot. But it brought the text and made it text, which is awesome. Very cool. Like, that's huge. But the other weird, crazy thing it did was, like, see how my eyes are one layer here? It made them 2 layers. And it did this, like, my forearm is made up of 3 shapes, and it made them 3 damn shapes. That's not really what I want. And like broke the amulet into 6 shapes. So I either have to like pre-comp or just hide a bunch of stuff. Like this made a lot more layers than I'd want. I'm gonna have to do a lot more parenting than I want. I mean, I'd assume that I did something, like there's some way to compensate for that. But like I said, this is my first time fucking with this, so. What happens if I hit Control Z? I'm like scared. Oh, and there they all go. Okay. Push selection. Like, these aren't grouped. What if they're grouped? I don't think I can get my strokes back either, which is kind of... Oops. If I group this. I group this. Just as an experiment, what happens if I split shapes to layers? Ah, that's what it was. This was like highlighted. See, it says split shapes to layers. I don't want every single shape on a layer. Detect. Wait, I don't want this. We'll leave that on. We want to center anchor points. That's the thing I was talking about, so that's cool. So instead of my anchor points all being at the center of my comp in AE, they'll actually be at the center of the shape, I think. Layers at comp center. I definitely don't want that. Alright, now let's give it a go. Saber Vampire again. Bam. What? What? Okay, that's definitely not what I wanted. Weird. Anchor points are right now. It's still... It didn't split the amulet this time, so I guess what you have to do is in here, if you don't want something to be split up, you gotta group them. So I'm gonna group these. Like mouth, I'm gonna group all this, group, ear, group. Anything that's like multiple shapes, you gotta group it before you go. Like my head is like three circles, so I gotta group that. Bubble I gotta group. Collar I gotta group. My feet are two shapes. I think I got them all now. Make sure everything's selected. I don't know if you have to select these layers, but let's see if I missed anything. Bubble, brow, bang, nose, eyes. If there's any two. Oh, my neck. Alright, one more time. Missed the neck. Group the neck. Select, save, select all, push it back. Alright, now we have everything exactly the way I want it. This is pretty much what would happen if you did a composition. But at the same time, everything's a shape layer, which makes things a lot more flexible. So that's really cool. Let me get my white solid back here. Alright, that's cool. Alright, next phase. I love that text. Oh, let's try to push our... We have our vampire color palette. Let's try to push that into it. Push selected swatches. Oh, that is so cool! This makes me happy. This makes me very happy. How cool is that? Very cool. Let me save this 80 project real quick. And it calls it swatches, and it's a guide layer. I think that is so nifty. It just like tickles me. Because one of the things like I hate is I work with a lot of companies and they have brand colors. I'll build everything in Illustrator, and I like to be super organized with my solids when I make a project in After Effects. So I'll go through and I'll have to remake every single solid. Just because I want it to be precise. I don't know, it's just much easier to do it this way. That's really cool. Alright, so I guess I'll just and like Overlord's in here, so if I change something in here, I mean I wouldn't at this point, but for the sake, I don't even know what I would change to show an example. Like say I come into his goat. Oops, I don't want to puppet. Getting my buttons all mixed up now. Say I like added an anchor point and was like, hey, I want this weird ass thing. And I push that to AI. Whoop! Isn't that cool? And let me undo it. How do I change it back? Weird, it's like putting it on the neck. Why is it doing that? It's like pushing it back, but it's not putting it on the... That's bizarre. It was like putting stuff on the neck. Putting stuff on the neck or something. I don't know. I don't know. We all good. We all good. Alright. Oh my god. Shut off the sound on my iPad. Okay. So Weezin, I hope Twitch is saving this so I can post it to YouTube, because no one is watching this stream. I might open Twitch real quick.
It's turn time.
That means...
Bingo!
Store past broadcast. It should store it. Okay. So, no, it's just... I mean, that's basically Overlord. The basics, anyways. So that's cool. But now I'll show you how I rig a guy with Duik. First things first. I mean, everything's already named properly because we did that. First things first is always anchor points. I lower everything's opacity. Just start. Actually, the first thing would be parenting. Let's parent first. Bleh goes on bubble. Brow, bang, nose, eyes, mouth, sideburn, ear, goatee, all on the head. Head. It's on the neck. Neck, collar, goes on the torso. Arm. Arm. Now arm, cape. Goes on the torso. Forearm, arm, hand, forearm. Toes on the foot on the calf, calf on the thigh on the pelvis. Toes on the foot on the calf, calf on the thigh on the pelvis. Torso on pelvis. Hand on forearm on arm. Amulet also goes on R. Torso, okay. Now we can go back to lowering our opacity. I just did that so if I like play with something now, it doesn't, everything moves. Cool. I go with oil. Those are good. Bang. Whoa. Always play with your stuff at every stage. You get a better idea of how it's going to move. Honestly, I think the collar should be on the net. We're going to put the collar in. Go Tizzle. Go Tizzle, my Tizzle. Cool. Get that forearm. Your joints. These joints are the most important part. Make sure they are perfect. That's the perfect. Torso. And sneeze. Fiance hates when I sneeze that loud, but you know, you just gotta let fly. Dude, when he makes, I don't always make super simple characters like this. I think like a lot of people are making characters that look like this now. But I tell you what, when they're this simple, they are so flexible. Like he can freaking bend like this far back and not really break or look bad. When you get more detailed characters, things are a lot easier to break, a lot harder to make look nice. It's nice to just make characters this simple sometimes. These rounded joints, and it's just like you can't get any, especially when everything's the same color too. If you have a really simple color palette, silent. Burping, sneezing, smoking, snorting. So do that good. Okay, all anchor points good. Pull our opacity back up. Now, because we added the toes, we have to add a couple null layers for Duik to do the toe roll really well. So, save. It's so hot in here. I got the heat turned up too high. I always move the anchor point to the middle just because it bugs me that After Effects doesn't put it in the middle to begin with. Like, why would you want to? I don't know. Make it smaller so it's not a pain in the ass. That's going to be our R heel null. Gonna dupe that. Call this our tiptoe. Don't call those anything else than what they should be. And then those two names. And move the tiptoe to the tiptoe, heel to the heel. Twitch is congratulating me on my first stream, even though I have 0 viewers right now. Congrats, you did it! You're making me feel like did the stream kill out? We still alive. Oops, I'm showing you my emails, that's bad. Okay, we're going to dupe these 2 nulls we just made. And guess what? Those are going to be the L tiptoe, L heel. We're literally just going to hold shift and drag those over. Bonk. Don't got to parent them to anything, don't got to do anything special. I love those swatches. That is so cool. Okay. That should be all we need. So we're going to go down to Duik. First, we're going to select everything we need for Duik. If you select only what you need, Duik will just get less confused. Okay. Save. Save before rigging. You never know if something's going to break. Auto rig. Plan to grade. Full character. Thigh. If you name things right, they should fill in. So we got our legs. These are all good. Here's where things get wonky. For whatever reason, Duik never puts the arm in there for me, and I name it arm. I probably should start naming it like humerus or shoulder, but fuck, it just never does it. It gets the hand and forearm, it always wants to put a thigh in the arm. And then it'll try to put these tiptoes back in there, just switch those to none. It always tries to put the thigh up, like it fucks up on the arms for whatever reason. Switch those to none, arm, forearm, hand, good, good. If you wanted to do fingers and get, like we did the toes, you could. Head, neck, neck, torso, torso, pelvis, good there. Tail, none, okay. Duik does its magic. And voila. I rarely mess with the CC pelvis. I usually control with the pelvis. I don't like that when you move the CC pelvis, like see the other pelvis, null does not move with it. Honestly, CC pelvis is like only, let me just fix this leg first. Got a leg bending backwards. So like if you rotate the CC pelvis, you can get those like relaxed stances. I'm hot. Oh yeah, it's a sexy stance. So I would lock those only for I usually lock it unless I want to rotate that. Because if you rotate this, it will rotate his whole torso. His arms looking good. He's looking. I tell you, man, these simple characters, they're used a lot nowadays, but damn if they are not freaking flexible. Okay. Save. Everything's looking good. Change my controllers to a brighter color. I'm gonna make them green. Everything's kind of pink this way. Okay. And now, usually what I do is I start locking and hiding anything I don't need. So I turn on my Shy Guy, and I start thinking, what do I not need? Because this is just too much. Like, you need to simplify. So let's start from the top. I might want everything on the head for now. And I don't, I gotta turn my switches on. And I don't need forearm, I don't need, arm is useful to have if you want to like move the shoulder forward or back. Torso is not totally necessary. Collar's not necessary. You could like, I'm not going to get into what you could do with the collar. There's some advanced things. I could make the collar rotate a little, maybe I will try it. Like right now, if my collar and my neck are like 1-to-1. So if I open up, turn off the switches again. Let me finish hiding things for other things first. Don't need calf. Don't need foot, toes. Don't need hand, don't need forearm. Alright, that's enough things hidden. For now. So if I option click my rotation, pick whip that to the rotation of my neck. Let's do like times 5. I'm gonna have to play with this. See, right now, see, it might be hard to tell, but now the collar is rotating a little bit less than the neck. It makes it look a little bit more natural, not so stiff. If you could up that, let's see what 0.75 looks like. See, that's too. That might be too much. It's gonna like split the difference at like 0.6. I dig that. Like, I like to do that with little elements so I don't have to worry about rotating them. So now we can hide collar. Don't need that ever. We can also hide neck. So we don't need that ever. This amulet we're not going to need, but same thing with the like the collar was. Right now the amulet is rotating at a 1-to-1 with the torso. So we're going to do the exact same thing. Hit my torso, didn't I? There it is. Look, get up the rotation of the torso. Option, click on the stopwatch of the rotation of the amulet. Pick whip it to the rotation of the torso. And the same thing, we'll just do like a times 0.6. That one's like really hard to see. That one might not have been worth it. Just makes it rotate a little bit less. Sometimes if I'm like feeling like I want things to be, like if I don't want to really get into the nuances of like making this hair bounce with his walk, I'll do the exact same thing with like the nose. We're going to do the exact same thing with the nose, the goatee, the sideburns, the ears. We're going to make all this automated so we don't have to worry about it later. Because we want this to be like a rig. We just want this to be an easy rig. So we want the bang, nose, sideburn, ear, goatee. We're doing it all. We're going to option click all these bad boys. We're going to get into our head, pull that rotation out. Start pick whipping all this to the rotation of the head. So the bang, I think we want to times negative. Let's try times -1. Just look at the bang for right now. Let's not worry about. I think we need it. I think I did it wrong. Times 1. When he looks up, it kind of like raises. It's too much. Let's go 0.6 again. So now when he looks down, see, like it's like gravity's doing a little bit of the work for you. Same with the nose. Oops. Keep that at 0.6. Nose, let's make a little bit less. It doesn't need to have like a super floppy nose, but see how the nose now, just a little bit of extra motion that you don't have to worry about. Goatee, we can like really make flop around. We can do this like a times 1. Times 2. It looks better if it's negative. Let's see. Obviously, this Sideburns looking bad. Times -0.5. Here, I don't think the ear you'll notice as much. Oops. We don't really notice the ears much. If we had like a less of a perfect circle, you'd notice it more. But regardless, doing all that, I mean, now we can hide all these more elements because they're going to move and do cool things on their own just because we did that. So the bang, nose, sideburn, ear, goatee, those can all hide now. Hide away! It's kind of interesting. The new After Effects, like there's like a thicker line now when you have things hidden. I kind of dig that, so you know where like extra layers are that are hidden. God, my apartment is hot one in here. All right, this cape. Obviously, the cape is an issue. Because we don't want the cape to swing like that. So that's an easy one. Same exact concept. Option click the rotation, pick whip it to the torso. And times -1. When we do times -1, that is essentially making it do the direct opposite of what the torso's rotation is doing. So essentially, if the torso rotates left, the cape will rotate right, and it'll almost be as if the cape isn't rotating. See? Mm-hmm. So it looks a little wonky. I think my anchor point was in a stupid spot. Yeah. My anchor point was too high on the cape. Still a little too high. That's better. See? The other thing I wanted to do was add a little bit of a wave warp to the cape. Apologies, I'm doing things off screen on my other monitor with the effect. It's just kind of bugging me because it's not pinning the top edge. I don't know why it does that sometimes. I'm going to pre-comp this cape. Take the wave warp off of it. Cape, gotta parent that back to the torso, put our wave warp back on it. Now when we pin the top edge, It should actually pin, which it does. And I also have to do bam. And now we can hide the cape. Lock the torso back up, hide everything. Everything's looking good. Okay, now you've got a rig. That's a rig right there, boy. Now we're gonna just make a quick walk. Take it to that last step. We've come so far. In a second, just reading emails with that. Alright. Simple walk, nothing special. So, I like to start my walk on the spread. So we'll put a position key on our pelvis and move that forward the frame. Oops. We get some position keys on our legs, rotation, neat. I'm gonna have to move this over so you can see it. I have to move my effect control over. Okay, so here's my effect control. As you can see, we've got this foot roll. Well, it will be easier to say on the left foot. See? A little foot roll for the toe. You want to put, we're also going to put the keyframe on that for both the left and right foot. I'm going to move those keyframes over. Okay, so here's our original. Now we're going to make the first pose, which is, I'm going to go down too much. I'm going to have a more subtle walk to see the gentleman. Foot roll. Oh man, I might as well show you guys exactly how I do this, because we're going to put some position keys on the thighs too, because you're going to want these moving back and forth, which it just makes it look better. So right now they're fine. Just putting them on there for later. Alright. So pelvis down, feet apart. Next is pelvis up. Pelvis passing position, I think. So what? Oops. Boop, boop. Move forward a frame. Pelvis goes back down. This foot continues to move back. But now we want our thigh to also move back with it. It's like your hip moving, essentially. Give it a little foot roll. Forward. If you can't hear me, it's because I'm mumbling to myself. I apologize. I do not know what the audio situation is like. Okay. Pelvis goes back up. Foot straight. I'm going to go to my final keyframe, actually, where things would end. I'm going to get my hips back in line. Go back a keyframe. Makes it easier for me to know exactly where this leg should be. This one comes up. How did I make that leg? This one is. When you're down, your legs should be straight. Your leg comes back. Be straight. Back to 0. We copy our first keyframe at the end. I did these on every single frame, so he's going to be walking too fast. For typical walk, it's about a second. For a slow walk, that should be good. Let's do 5 in between every. See what that looks like. We also want to change the pelvis and these thighs to eases. At this point, you have a very basic stiff walk, but notice one thing I don't think most beginners do is they don't make the foot slap down. Like when you're walking, your foot will slap the pavement. So usually 1 or 2 frames after the heel hits, I'll make the foot slap down. So you have to add an extra keyframe on the rotation and make that foot slap. Do it on both. It'll look better after two. It's snappier. See how I'm getting that like leg? Legs just pop. I'm starting to get frustrated at Duik legs for doing that. I should have made them with rubber hose, but it doesn't matter because we're doing it fast. Sometimes I compensate for that by making it ease out and ease in from the it's like 100 degrees in here. I'm too lazy to go. Turn off my. Now we can do the arms. Actually, I'll do the shoulders and head first. The position and a rotation on the shoulders, rotation on the head. Make them lean a little bit forward. I also like to offset the rotation of the head a little bit. It just makes it look a little bit more natural. I'm just breaking that. Right now I'm just, it's kind of like the opposite of the foot slap. I'm trying to come out of that foot roll a little bit quicker. Otherwise the foot roll just takes too long to, looks unnatural. Sometimes I add a little bit of arc to the foot. This foot definitely comes up higher than the other one. That might be what I'm doing wrong. I don't like extending that foot far enough. Oops. Cool. Kind of like we did with the thighs, we're going to put some keyframes on these arms, just on the positions. Right now the left foot is forward, so the right arm should be forward, opposite arm goes forward. The hands are balls, so we don't really have to worry about rotation. Normally I'd put rotation on the hands, but we'll just do position because you're not even going to notice the rotation. This arm should be forward. This arm should be back right now. What I'm going to do is make a little bit of an arc. It's not looking so stiff. Leg. I'm gonna get rid of the bleh. It's not really a. I just wanted to test the text. Last thing to do is mess with this shadow. Since he's moving, we honestly could give the cape like a little bit of a tilt. Plus, I love math. Plus 10. So we'll add like a plus. Since we had that rotation on the torso, we just add a plus 10, and that'll just give it a little bit of a A little bit extra. I kind of wanted to wave speed. How close am I making it a perfect loop? Let me take a few shots. God, it's getting closer. That's pretty close to a perfect loop. And there you have it. You could take this guy, complement something else, call it Vampire Walk. And loop it. Command Option T for time remap. The keyframe right at the end. Option select. Loop out. So. That's all she wrote.